Peace and blessing, kings and queens. Welcome back to another video. DCB here. I've got an important video today. Today I got a very personal message, a very close and deep message. This one goes deep in the shadow. This one, after I clear this one from me, I feel like it's a big step in my journey. It's a big step in my life. It's one of the most pivotal moments in my life for sure, just really articulating this and speaking it and just getting it out in general, let alone on camera. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the flow. You know, this is something that I never thought I would even say. I thought I was gonna take it to the grave, to be fair, but I'm here now in my journey. I'm at this stage where this is just part of a challenge for me. This is just a point for me to be able to be finding out myself, being comfy and just figuring shit out, to be fair. This was deep in my shadow. This is something I thought I would never really let out and speak about, but now I'm at this point in my life that this is part of my test. This is part of man's discovery and elevation. You know, I know for sure in hindsight that everything I went through and everything I experienced was for me to be able to come out the other side and say this to others. That's why I feel like I'm being called to say this, like recently more than ever. Like for sure the Most High has just been guiding me to just say this and to speak about it. You know, just being in the spiritual journey has just made me a lot more self-aware, like very self-aware, in tune with myself, to the point where I know when it's my shadow longing and calling for something and just trying to speak out, and I know when it's just coming from the higher self. I just know the emotions, the thought patterns now that are residing inside of me, you know, to a better degree than before. So now it's a thing where I know that how the shadow works is it will long to get something out of it. Like if you don't allow it to, if you don't process it, it's always just gonna build up stronger and stronger, basically. And that's how people need to learn with dealing with their shadow side and the part that they don't want to see, that they don't want others to see of them. That's the part that you just have to really process and really understand, because if not, it will just build inside of you and it will get triggered, or you will just try be at battle with yourself always, you know what I mean? And that's not the way to be. Like if you don't have harmony within yourself, it's just like everything else, everything that you reflect outward will just not be in harmony as well, will not be in balance with what you need, you know what I mean? So it's just a thing where when it's calling something inside of you, that you just need to really, you need to see it for what it is, and you need to see it in the sense of why is it actually calling you? Like what's actually going on inside of you? What's the emotion that you're feeling when this certain thing is getting triggered? Like what's the emotion? What happened for that emotion to stay on you like trauma, for it to just keep residing on you, where it just keeps building up and building up? And for my journey is just a deep one of the things that is just in this kind of life. It will probably be the hardest, being a black man, you know what I mean, to even feel. So it was just a whole experience in itself that I need to really fathom and really even just get it out properly. And so I just need to just lay it out and just talk about it, basically. You know, when I was younger, I participated in homosexual activities, and yeah, that's the first time I'm ever saying that. It's the first time I'm even ever letting it out. So in my journey, that's what really happened to me. Well, not happened, well, that's the scenario that happened. I participated in homosexual activities when I was young, when I was a kid. You know, I could have been, I don't really know, I could have been like 10 or 11. And the way it just happened, the way everything just was, like that just is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what happened when I was a kid. I done that, but it's the effect that it's had on me, like throughout to this, like now. Like I'm 22 now, gonna turn 23, and the effect that that's had on me this whole time, just as a man and just carrying myself, and the kind of emotions that it's brought towards me and my life, is why I'm kind of speaking about it. Like, just because if anyone's going through this, or if anyone's felt like this, or like, you know what I mean, they've made a mistake, or something just happened where you're like, raw, this brings me so much shame. Like, it doesn't matter how much I've changed as a person, like this will always sit with me. Like, that's how I felt, that's how I saw it. But I only felt like that now that I see is because for me to process it, so I face it, and so then I face it, and I'm able to let other people know that if anyone went through this or going through something like this, then like don't be alone. Like, don't be ashamed, because it's a mistake. Things happen. There's so many things in life that can just make you make mistakes, especially when you're just unguided and you're unconscious. You know, I can say many reasons, but truth of the matter is, it is what happened. That I was there. It was me who done that. Like, I can't blame anyone. You know what I mean? It was a man who really done that at the end of the day. But when it comes to just even just upbringing, just being unconscious, just being unbalanced in your femininity to masculinity as a child, to just being excited. Like, when I think about it in the hindsight, I can just remember the moment. I can remember the situation. You know what I mean? Because it just so, the emotion so strong. It just stayed with me. And the way I could see it, like the way I was as a kid, even up until like the last couple of years, I was someone who was more on autopilot. I was someone who was so unguided. You know, just seeing, like, in hindsight, I was someone who just went with whatever. It's like Andrew Tate said a good quote. He's like, if you're a feather in the wind, you're never, like, if you don't control your mind, you're like a feather in the wind. And that's how I was like a feather in the wind. You know what I mean? Like, I would literally just be, I didn't have control of my mind. I didn't have control of my emotions or whatever or whatnot. But I could just remember in that current moment, I felt excited. It wasn't that I felt like being gay. Like, I didn't, like, it's not something that I processed. You know what I mean? And that can even come into play with just a sense of that being normalized in childhood, and just seeing that, but not in my family, but just seeing that shit. But it's a sense that I just felt excited to do it. You know what I mean? But in hindsight, I just see with the way that everything happened, that was like a spiritual attack. You know what I mean? And you hear, like, obviously people can just hear that now and just be like, this guy's crazy. Like, just even talking about all of this, like, this is crazy. But it's like, man, just have to say how I feel, and then it is what it is. People take what resonates, and people leave what doesn't. But with me, I know now that this is a lot bigger than me. Like, even this whole journey, even this whole little part now, me speaking about all of this, like, I'm so attached to it. Like, the outcome and even what I'm saying, like, my ego's so attached right now because of the emotions and the weight it's had in my heart, like, throughout, you know what I mean, even right now. But this whole thing is bigger than me. Like, I just need to say really how I feel, because if I went through this, I know so many people went through this. That's the thing. So I feel like this is why I'm being called to say this, because I was cool. Like, I dealt with the fact that this happened and all of this, but I feel like the reason why it was still longing inside of me to say it is because the Most High wanted me to say it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been even just dodging, like, sitting very, very still in meditation, because I've been hearing that, and I thought it was like just like the devil just trying to put that in my mind. But that's the thing. That's that's my ego's reaction to that, because what will happen with that ego, with that coming out, my ego will feel a lot of shame. Because all the reason why I'm scared of even saying this is because my ego is thinking of, oh, how are people gonna perceive me? How am I gonna go on? You know what I mean? That's a lot of how it goes. Because obviously, where someone comes from, where someone like me comes from, even how I look, just being a black man, you know what I mean? It comes with a lot of that. So it's just thinking about how are people gonna perceive me after, and then even just like moving forward, like how would a shorty that enter communion with, like, perceive me, like, moving forward. I even thought that about myself. How can I be a man when I done that? You know what I mean? Like all of those things, you know what I mean? But that's the test. Like, that's the test that I have to deal with in my mind and overcome, and really just understand that this is part of man's challenge to overcome it, and understand that like I need to overcome that in myself, in terms of just being okay with myself, losing shame, because it's happened. What's happened is happened. Like, it was there in the past. I see why it's happened. I see why it's happened on a physical level and on a spiritual level. You know what I mean? Because obviously, on a spiritual level, if you're favored by God, you're favored by the devil. So, like, someone like me, even just me, hindsight now, seeing how I am, this is probably like the worst thing that could have happened in my life, basically. Because any other thing would have been easier to overcome, because it's like, just deal with it. Like, now, man, just deal with everything in my life that I have to do. But this thing is like, because like I done it, and the sense of being a man, and you know what I mean, like, it felt like it's the only thing that just made me like not be my true self. But it's like everything you're not is what you are, and you know what I mean. So you have to go. So I just see I had to go through that just to understand that that's definitely not me, and in the sense of like I had to overcome shame. Basically, that was my shame to overcome, because that's one of the lowest vibrations. That's one of the lowest frequencies to feel, and I could feel that so much in my life. I felt that so much just because of that situation alone. I felt so much shame, and so much like I felt so down, and it affected how I carry myself in so many outcomes. And even until now, not until now, but until like growing up, just thinking like eyes on me, like, oh, they don't know, but you know. That's how my mind used to say it, and my mind used to think. And I'm saying this to say, because it's like a lot of people might feel like this, a lot of people might think like this, a lot of people might be feeling this way. And it happens in a sense of there's so many things there's so many outcomes that your life can take when you're young and unconscious, and you've been misguided the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not even you're meant to have been guided. You're meant to have been like just taught from right and wrong. You know what I mean? So you can't blame yourself, but in the same way you can't blame anyone. It just is where it is. But you just need to just see it in a sense of it's happened, and you've overcome that, you've learned from that, and you move on. Like, that's literally it. Like, you learn from all of this. Like, literally, like, even now, it's like, for me to be doing this has made me build a lot of courage. So from shame, I've been able to transmute it into courage. You know what I mean? So that's the part of life. Anything that just comes in your lap, anything bad, anything that comes in your lap, you're meant to learn from it. And when you're done learning from it, you can transmute it to benefit you. You know what I mean? And that's just the true sense of it. You know what I mean? Like, even just right now, I feel a lot better just clearing it out. I'm happy I didn't come with no plan to what I'm gonna say and all of that. I don't even know if I'm missing a lot of things to say, but yeah, this is something that's been with me in my heart for so long, and it brought me a lot of shame. And the thing is, with the shame and with just any emotion that you just suppress, like anger is the most common one in this society. Like, the more people just suppress their anger and make it seem like they don't have it, the easier they can just burst and let it snap like that, because you're unprocessing it, you're just avoiding it, you know what I mean? But you don't just avoid it, it don't just go anywhere. That just goes into your shadow self. It just starts building up more. So you're essentially building up your shadow to become this even bigger entity that you're perceiving in your head, because of the way you're energizing it, because we're creating our reality, we're creating our perception. So whatever we're giving power to, we're energizing that thought and that emotion. So with me, because I wasn't processing all of that, and I was kind of avoiding it every time after that happened, like, because that's the thing, that's why I feel like I know it's a spiritual attack. I go off topic sometimes, you know what I mean, because I smoked a lot of sound, you know what I mean, but I go a bit off topic, then I just remember. But I say, yeah, oh shit, nah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, nah, that, because some people, when you're chosen by God, you're chosen by the devil, because you're powerful. So it's like both sides want you know what I mean? So you obviously you're riding with the most high with the righteousness, you know what I mean? But you also have, you know, the people, the spirits, the evil forces, you can say, quote unquote evil, that are just trying to really suppress ways of people just actually being. So there's gonna be things that get put, you know, I heard someone say, or I read somewhere, it's like when you're chosen, sometimes like your roots can get like tampered with so that you don't blossom, you know what I mean? And what I say that to say is like your upbringing. A lot of chosen people have upbringings that are just so chaotic and hectic, and they just feel so lost, and it's like, why did this happen to me? Like, you feel so like why is life hitting a man like this? Like, why me out of everyone? Like, I remember I just felt so out of place. I felt so unique with everything that's happened, and I didn't even feel like I could process any of it, because I was just like a kid. Then I had to just grow up, but I didn't process nothing. So it's like I just had to go with everything. But I just felt like, why is life hitting me like this? But obviously in hindsight now, to get to where I am, I'm so grateful and I'm so honored, because everything I've been through was to get me here to this point. And what I know now and what I've been awakened to is what the evil forces did not want me to wake up to, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a paradox anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it all just made us stronger. Like, the truth can't really get suppressed. The truth always comes out, light always comes out. So that's why even I'm making this video now, because I feel like sometimes, like, you just need that someone that can just give you something to inspire you, or just see you like, raw, okay, like, you're not alone. Because some people just need that push. Some people just feel lost because they made that mistake. And if this video can just allow people to see that it's not, like, nothing is actually that deep, especially when you know yourself and you know that before you wasn't someone who was like literally in control. You have to be like there for yourself. You have to like understand how you was brought up. Like, you have to really understand that you have to, you know, you're relearning yourself. So a part of you, a lot of things that happen sometimes, it's not, you can't blame yourself, but you have to acknowledge the part you played, and you have to see like what happened. But you need to also understand that it's like things happen, and then you either learn from it, or you move on, or you don't, and you let it eat inside of you. And I'm done with that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm done. Like, I don't really want acknowledgement from anyone. Like, honestly, the only things I listen to is the Most High, my spirit team, and my ancestors. That's it. Like, anyone else on this realm, until I meet my spirit team, or, you know, I've been riding solo, to be fair. So it's like me, I'm just listening. I'm trying to get right with myself. Like, I feel like after this is a very big step for me. Like, this is like showing the most of myself that I've ever showed, you know. And I'm thinking like, why? Like, I was thinking, oh, like, can I do music? I'm trying to just be on the right side. Like, I know this time, like, sometime this video is gonna get used and people are gonna be seeing this video, but this is for me. Like, this is for me. Like, this is showing me how far I've come. Like, the fact that I'm actually saying this for the first time ever and putting it on video for everyone to see. And I have to big myself up, because I'm putting myself on a line, in a sense, to just, you know, try to see if anyone else can try to hear this video. If even just one person can just even hear this video and just be like, okay, I've had a mistake in the past that I've just held on to, but I was a kid, I was a certain way. I wasn't even, my brain wasn't even processing things properly. Like when you just look at things in that light, when you go back to your thoughts, your traumas with a healed version of yourself, and you really process it, and you're really meant to, and you can really see things for what they are, you can just take out the emotion of it, you're less detached from it. It's like, cool. The only reason I was feeling this so much because of the area I come up from, the kind of people I had around me, you know what I mean? It's like the kind of, I've always experienced judgment, and I've always experienced this, or something like this has always felt like something like this would have felt the hardest to say, regardless. But the fact that I'm here now, and that's probably why it was hard to say, but now that I'm here now, I can actually just say it, and I'm, you know what I mean, I'm able to go back and really process things and just see that, yeah, like, it is what it is. Like, man's here now. Like, I'm glad I'm getting this out of my system, because this was like at the bottom, like the bedrock of my shadow, I'd say, you know what I mean? So like, after this is like, I feel lighter already, I can't lie, you know what I mean? I just have to say how I feel and get that out of me. And yeah, I think I just had to let that out, just to allow a lot of light to come in, a lot of new things to come in, because that's it. Like, I keep trying to compare like what's gonna happen for making this video with my old reality, but I'm entering a new reality, and this reality is something that's coming with a lot more abundance, a lot more guidance, a lot more honesty, a lot more clarity. And I can't be trying to make videos and trying to inspire people with music, or just regardless, if I can't speak my truth and try to help people just because I'm feeling a way about myself. I'm not here to feel a way about myself. I'm here to understand myself fully, to the fullest extent, express myself with creativity, just learn. That's what I'm here for. And you know, when I learn, I would like to teach, because you know, that's what we should do. That's how we should uplift our people, you know. But we gotta just be there for each other, and just really gotta be each other's support system. Not only that, you have to be your own support system, and you just have to really just be a father to yourself and parent yourself. That's the best way to deal with trauma, really, because if it's not that shadow side of you, it's that inner child, you know what I mean? Like, even this, it could be the inner child, or it could be the shadow, it could be both, I don't know, in a sense of, I was a child when it happened, so that shame could be coming from the child, but the child inside of me. But at the same time, I just know I can see it for what it is. And now, just like after making this video, before making this video, I was coming with so much shame, like it was just running through my head, like how this is gonna go and what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm just glad I just went with the flow. I just said how I felt, to be honest. But yeah, that's all it is to it. That's all it is to it. Like, moving on, I'm here. Like, man's me. I've always been me, and now more than ever, I know the true me, and I'm glad I got that out. But it just goes to show how something that happened 10, 11 years ago, or wait, more than that, something that's happened that long ago, it's been so hard for me to process, in the sense that I haven't processed it. So it's built up so long. It's built up so long that it's got stronger and stronger and stronger. Whereas if I had processed it, like at the point, but obviously I was young, I couldn't be a parent to myself when I wasn't even old enough. I wasn't mature enough. It's only now that I'm mature enough, you know. And I couldn't process it because that was before my spiritual awakening. I feel like I was meant to process it now, so I'm able to speak it out to people, speak my truth, to see if anyone can catch on to this, you know. We just gotta be honest with ourselves and be on, yeah, that's it. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like, finding peace with yourself, understanding yourself in totality, like understanding your whole self is the most important thing that you need to do. and getting right with yourself, because that's what we're here to do. We're souls having a human experience, and so we're here with our tests. I know my tests, my family upbringing, the like neglect and that kind of stuff, and then those were my tests. But it was like, I can see in hindsight what those traumas and those experiences were showing me, you know what I mean? All it is alchemy. We're alchemists, you know. That's, you know, we transmute it. That's what we're here to do. That's why we get those tests. It's the yin and yang. Go through the dark to find the light. That's the whole point, you know what I mean? So even this is part of man's test, you know. People are gonna have their opinions. There's gonna be so many opinions, and I know going on, because I know my music's gonna take off, you know what I mean? Like, my music's gonna take off for sure, like 100%. This is what is it? April's like April 28th, 2024. Remember this, my music's gonna take off, and I know this video's gonna get viewed a lot of times, so I just gotta say what I gotta say. I just gotta say man's truth and just let it out. You know what I mean? That's all I can do. That's all I can do at the end of the day. So I'm glad I said it. I hope people can learn from this, not to be ashamed with themselves. Yeah, not to be ashamed of themselves. Just be you. Like, that's it. Literally, be you. Be you. Like, you just gotta be you and be comfortable with yourself. Because I feel like after this video, I'm gonna be a lot more comfortable with myself. Because my thing was like, oh, no one knows but you know. So it was kind of eating me up. But now that I've let it out, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of release that energy. So now it's like the entity that I was building up, the entity that I was creating, so building it up stronger and stronger every time I was avoiding it, is now released, because the emotion that I was holding on to was the shame of people knowing, but now people can know. So you know what I mean? So this video was kind of for me as well, but if anyone can just grab onto this, yeah, you know, to everyone who's watching this, if you knew me once, if this is a mad revelation, if you view me different, then you view me different, you know what I mean? I can't control people's perceptions of my reality. I know I'm shifted in a new reality anyway, and the people who come with me in this new reality are people who are meant to be on my path, are meant to be on my journey. Anyone who don't get it, it's like anyone's gonna have opinions of me, would have had opinions of me, like, regardless, you know what I mean? Because that's the thing about opinions, is just people projecting things onto you regardless, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter about what the situation is, it's the person that's gonna be projecting anyway. So I just gotta speak my truth and just say it. I'm glad I said it now, you know. I'm young, I got time to grow. I'm focused on myself, and I'm just glad now. I'm grateful for the Most High to have guided me to be able to say this too. I feel like I've got what I wanted to say off my chest, you know. This is what, 29 minutes, and I feel like I've just been speaking from the heart, to be fair. So I'm just honored. I'm grateful to be in this position, and I'm grateful to be in this journey. I'm grateful to have this courage to just speak like this right now and just be honest. You know, this is a big step for me, and I'm so grateful to just, yeah, have the strength to be able to say this. You know, I'm truly grateful. I'm truly grateful. And yeah, people just don't think that because something happened, don't attach that to your identity. Don't attach that. Don't, like, a mistake is a mistake. When you don't have the right tools to assess situations, and you go through those situations, you have to understand that you didn't have the right tools, so the outcome wasn't the right way, you know. Then you get older and you go back with the right tools and you can assess it. But what's happened has happened. But you have to understand that all you have is the present moment. So anytime you keep thinking about past things, you're re-energizing that emotion, because everything is energy. So you're re-energizing that, and whatever has your attention has your energy and holds power over you. And especially with trauma, that emotion is so strong. So you have the thought plus the emotion, you're basically manifesting it. So thus you're projecting it. So me, every time I was thinking of that, I was thinking of the situation, then the emotion, because I was avoiding it, so it was building up. So what was happening in return? I was manifesting that, basically. So in return, I'll start feeling like I was that entity. I felt like I was weak, because of that situation. I felt like I was this throughout my whole life because I was energizing, I was creating, I was manifesting that reality for myself. You know what I mean? So you just have to learn to let things go. You have to learn to let things go, and you have to understand that your identity is how you perceive yourself, and that's all that matters. Just perceive yourself in a sense of knowing the betterment for yourself. Don't judge yourself. Just be your best friend and understand that that's how you have to be. Especially when you come from trauma, you have to nurture yourself. You have to re-blossom yourself. You have to replant that seed in your head. So yeah, be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Don't identify with trauma. Just understand it. That's that part. That's a point in your past. You've seen the trauma, you've learned from it, you've learned that, okay, that's not me, or you've learned what you had to learn, and you let it go. That's it. You let it go now. That's it. We just have to let things go. And I've realized that today, you know. So I'm just, yeah, I'm very, very grateful for this experience. Like, yeah, I'm happy I done this video. I was planning this video out for a long time. Like, I was just trying to make bad excuses, but I meditated today. And today I just, yeah, I heard the message, I heard the guidance louder than ever. So I just felt like, okay, I'm avoiding it at this point. And you can't avoid destiny. Like, you can't avoid man's journey. I'm in my path. You know what I mean? That's all I'm focused on right now. Nothing matters. Like, I'm just on my path trying to be my best self. So all I can do is just what's on my path. All I can do is what I feel guided to do. But sorry about that, the video cut out, man. But like I was saying, all I can do is what I've been guided to do. And that's it. All I can do. That's what we can do. We're here to discover. We're here to explore ourselves. We're here to uncover our deepest, darkest truths and familiarize ourselves with them and accept them and release them and let them be what they were. Don't let them attach to yourself as an identity. You know, we're here to grow. We're here to elevate. We're here to evolve. You know, if we had these traumatic experiences that held on to us, we have to let them go. We have to accept them and release them, or else it's only us that's gonna eat up inside. You know what I mean? And what's the point of gaining the acceptance of everyone if you lose yourself trying to fit in? Like, don't try to fit in. Like, be who you're meant to be. Just express yourself. Literally, just really express yourself and be your best version. Literally, that's all we're here for. Just to grow. Forgive ourselves for everything we've been through. All the times that we feel like, oh, why didn't I do this? Why couldn't I have been like this? Do you know how many times I thought like that? Like, why did I do that? Like, I'm so, like, felt so much shame and guilt of the man I was because of that. I attached it to me. But it's like, yeah, it is what it is. It happened. We release, like, we grow from it. That has made me build courage and truth. It's allowed me to develop myself, to be able to speak my truth, to be able to say how I really feel. You know what I mean? And that's better than anything I could ever ask for. You know, that's the challenges. That's what we get. That's how we build ourselves. You don't build yourself just by just building it. Now you have to learn. You learn how to build. And to learn how to build, you have to break down to learn how to build the pieces. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. That's all I'm trying to say in this video, I guess. You know, yeah, it's probably why I wasn't making a lot more videos, because I was thinking, like, how could I be speaking like this and I've got things inside of me that I'm scared to show that could benefit a lot of people. I was feeling selfish, but you know, I'm happy I done this video. You know, if you want any videos, let me know. I don't feel like right now I'm currently at that stage that can be given that many, like, prophetic messages. Personally, I feel like I just need to work on myself. But if there's people that need some guidance, let me know, you know, or I can point you in the right direction. But there's so much that comes into play with our state of mind, like, really, from what we eat to what we consume to opinions to what we've seen. So I say that to say, like, just know that and be conscious of that, and be conscious of when you was able to have grasp of your consciousness. That's when life really started. You know, when people feel like they're being reborn, I feel like I've been reborn. I feel like my life has started now, because I see that I've been able to, that I see that I have grasp of my perception now. and I could conceive of what I want. And those times is when I didn't have grasp of my perception and what was happening, you know what I mean? So how could you blame yourself? You know, you just gotta know it's two different times. Like you're reborn, and in this part of being reborn, yeah, it's the other side of our trauma. You know, that's the beauty of this. Like, I have internal peace now. I feel peaceful. Like, man's here in the grass. Like, look at this. Like, foot out, and like, look at this beautiful park. Like, man's here. Like, this is a beautiful place. Like, this is what spirituality and being in tune with myself got me to do, and just reconnecting with myself. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't go through the darkest parts of myself and figuring out myself, because it's when you go in the dark that you find the light, you know. And that's why I'm saying this, to say, like, these lessons, these experiences, these negative traumas, experiences that we went through, you went through them for a reason. And if you're watching this video, you're probably a chosen one. So you went through them for a reason. So think about them properly, meditate on them. Meditation is the best thing that's happened to me. I'm gonna make a video meditation if you guys want it, but meditate on it properly, so you're able to see it for what it is, and you're able to go with the right tools, you know. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm glad I made this video. Yeah, peace out. Peace and blessings to the divine kings and queens. Have a blessed day. Yeah.